So if you were anything like me when I was a kid, you were a loser. That means you absolutely loved games growing up. The PS2 to the 360 era was the absolute golden era of gaming for me, and it helped shape some of my absolute favorite games and franchises of all time. Just to list some examples, the survival horror GOAT, Space Genocide Man, good f***ing googly moogly. This game made me want to be Italian. But there was this one game that had like 11-year-old me in an absolute chokehold when it came out, and that was Dishonored. That's why it's the GOAT! The GOAT! This was and still is one of my favorite games, but I haven't played it in 10 years. I really want to know if this game held up over all this time, so I thought, hey, if I'm going to start off this achievement hunting journey, I'm going to start off with the GOAT Corvo. So, with that being said, let's 100% Dishonored. Dishonored starts off with our main man Corvo coming home after being away for many months to obtain news for our Empress. Apparently it's bad news.
Long way to bring bad news.
As we make our way up to share the news with the Empress, we're greeted by her daughter, Emily. She asked to play a quick game of hide and seek, and I'm like, who am I to say no, you know? She got absolutely shit on, by the way.
Okay, you win. We should go now, so Mother can see you too.
After the one-sided game of hiding and seeking with Emily, we head up to the Empress and find her talking to the Spy Master. He's some bald guy who looks a little too much like Vulture from Spectacular Spider-Man. He'll be very important later on. So then we hand off the bad news letter to the Empress. She totally litters out of anger, and then we're ambushed by masked assassins, which Corvo needs to take care of, non-lethally. You see, in Dishonored, Dunwall is a completely dying city. Your actions throughout the game affect the city around you. The more people you kill, the worse the rat plague spreads, and people see you in a way more negative way. The city is then in quote-unquote high chaos. The less people you kill, the less the plague spreads, and people see you in an overall better light. Therefore, the city is in low chaos. For my first playthrough, I chose to do a low chaos, non-lethal run because A, it's quite a bit harder to do than a high chaos run, B, it's a bit more boring to be honest, and C, it nets a ton of achievements that I just want to get out of the way early. Not only will I not be killing anyone, but to obtain the Ghost and Shadow achievements, Corvo cannot be seen or alert anyone throughout the entirety of the game. After taking out the masked assassins, we're jump scared with another ambush. This time, Corvo is completely powerless against their magic or whatever, and the Empress is murdered right in front of us. Before her last breath, she tasks us with finding her daughter and protecting her. We're then found in a very awkward predicament. Oh hey look, the bald guy is back. Corvo is then accused of murdering the Empress and kidnapping Emily. I'm then transported to Coleridge Prison, tortured, and then put into a cell. Apparently, a buddy of ours has our back on the outside, so we're given a key to escape the cell almost immediately. After exiting the cell, I put the first guy I see in a chokehold and use his esophagus as a stress relief ball, and did the same to the other guards as I snuck my way to the bomb our guys on the outside left for us.
Unless accompanied by an officer of the watch, escort through the solitary wing.
I made my way to the big exit door and blew that shit clean off its hinges, jumping into the water below and escaping into the rat-infested sewers where, for some reason, more guards awaited. On my way out of the sewers, I'm greeted with a giant horde of rats. It's all good though, my buddy over here was able to help me out. We also found some gear that our guys on the outside left for us, a crossbow and a folding sword, which we won't be using at all for this playthrough. After sneaking my way past the last few guards that were down here, for some unknown reason, I made it to Samuel, the boatman.
I'm Samuel.
Alright.
And I work for some good people who want very
Hope we
much.
finish that.
Escaping the prison and the sewers completely undetected would get us our very first achievement, Vanished. And directly after that, after arriving at the home base of our allies, the Hound Pits pub, we get Dishonored.
You get whoever really killed the Empress.
Moving on to the second mission, we meet up with the new crew who helped bail our ass out of prison, Pendleton, Havelock, and this absolute fucking gooner, Piero, which I'll touch more on that later. He does give us one of the most goated masks in the history of the gaming median as we know it, so I'll let him slide for just a little while. After meeting with this band of misfits, Corvo heads upstairs to catch some sleep, only to have the absolute trippiest nightmare of all time. And to make things worse, we're greeted by an emo guy with the sharpest jawline known to emo guy history. This guy is known as the Outsider. Yeah, long story short, he's a god. And he showcases that almost immediately by giving us access to the supernatural powers. The first one we gain is Blink. This is the most important power in the game. It's a semi-short range teleport. It helps you traverse buildings, get behind enemies, can help you avoid fall damage, do my taxes, feed my dog, fuck my wife. To put simply, this power is the GOAT. I make it to the end of this obstacle course of floating debris and pick up something called a rune. Runes help us obtain more powers throughout the game, but we're not going to be using any of those other than Blink for this playthrough anyway. After waking up, I immediately walk around the entire room and grab all the bone charms I can find for the achievement Occultist. After heading down, Corvo is then tasked with eliminating Thaddeus Campbell, a High Overseer.
Tonight, High Overseer Campbell dies by your hand.
He also conveniently happened to be there when Corvo was accused of murder. Also, we're gonna need to save a guy by the name of Martin. Apparently he's a master tactician or whatever that Havelock said. And to top it all off, one of the maids, Callista, asks us to spare her uncle, Kurnow, who she believes is going to be poisoned, which also just so happens to be the first pretty face we see when we boot up the main story. And with that, we're off to the distillery district. We're immediately greeted with guards throwing supposed plague victims off the bridge into the water, which really sets the grim tone of this game pretty damn instantly. I put this poor beach patrol guard to bed and then work my way up to the rooftops and past the wall of light. I then maneuver my way around the rooftops and work my way around to some of the back alleys, avoiding the second wall of light. Past the second wall of light, there's even more guards patrolling, but after knocking one guy out and maneuvering my way around the rest, I find Martin chained up. For some unknown reason, this guard has like literally nothing better to do, so he's just talking to Martin, I guess. So I just cut off his airway and knock his ass out.
You don't scare easy.
What a sight you are in that mask. I know who you are and what you're here to do, and I can help. Unlock me and I'll buy you a drink in a couple of days. By the void, I'll buy you 100 drinks.
Martin is safe and he hightails it back to the boat while I head in further. After sneaking past a few guards though, and through a pipe, I make it to the front doors of the office of the High Overseer. When I get inside, I immediately head for one of the staircases, knock out one of the guards, and start making my way through the hallways until I reach the branding instructions, which we'll be needing in just a minute. You'll see why.
Place top to bottom, and nothing to eat but the swill we hand out free. Of course we didn't find anything. Did I ever tell you? One time, one of the second floor to break him out of cold.
I then make my way to the meeting room, where the meeting between Kurnow and Campbell will take place in a few moments from now. But before they get here, I spill both of the glasses of wine, completely getting rid of the poison. So then I hide under the table and watch the meeting ensue for as long as my patience allows it, which isn't very long.
I don't understand how this got so unpleasant.
Oh, I agree. A whore dies and suddenly this. Will you have wine? It's a Tivian red.
Thank you.
After the absolute John Wick levels of shit I just pulled, I grab Kurnow's fat unconscious ass and take him to a... Is that a dumpster? Bro, surely there is a better place to leave him. After leaving Kurnow in literal garbage, I make my way back up to Campbell and take his bald unconscious ass to the interrogation room, grab the Heretics brand and mark him as one, which also happens to grant us the achievement Excommunication. And with that, our work here is finished, and I sneak my way back all the way to Samuel, while remaining undetected, of course. Finishing this mission while being completely undetected and also while killing less than 5 people gets me the achievements Spectre and Faceless. And on top of that, since I protected Callista's uncle from being poisoned and saved him by throwing him into the trash can, I also got Bodyguard, bumping my total number of achievements up to 7 out of 80. When I get back, I'm greeted by Callista, who then thanks me for saving her uncle. I'm not gonna lie, if she had any idea where I left her uncle to spend the night, I don't think she'd be thanking me. Then I head over to Havelock and Pendleton to tell them of my success, and then Corvo heads back up to get some well-earned rest. After I wake up and head back down, I meet with Havelock, who tells me some of the servants heard some weird noises last night beneath the pub. So instead of this lazy bastard doing literally anything else other than sit on his ass and command me around, of course he sends me.
Down beneath the pub, we actually find some Weepers. Weepers are actually just rat plague victims that are severely sick and in the final stages of the disease. It's actually kind of sad seeing them like this.
Nonetheless, I deal with the problem and head back up, and am literally immediately tasked with leaving again. But it's actually to go save Emily, so I'm gonna let it slide. That's practically our daughter, bro. But what's worse is where she's being held. A brothel. We're getting that goddamn 10-year-old girl out of there, goddammit. Just before I'm about to head out though, I'm stopped by Pendleton. He basically tells me that it sucks I have to kill his brother, but it is what it is. Pendleton's brothers happen to be regulars at this brothel, and they have to get taken care of because they're on Parliament. And if they disappear, all the votes fall to the last Pendleton brother. Anyways, I mask up and head back to the distillery district. This time though, we'll be doing one of the side quests. There's side objectives in every single mission of Dishonored. It really rewards you for exploring the levels, which I absolutely love. We'll be doing a series of side quests for a guy by the name of Slackjaw. He's the leader of this back alley group called the Bottle Street Gang. Doing this will help us obtain a missable achievement. After making our way to Slackjaw, he tells me that he has a better way of taking care of the Pendleton brothers, but I'd have to go do him a favor first. Apparently, someone is killing his men and taking what's his, and he wants to know who. After sending one of his guys to investigate, he never came back, and it's up to us to find him, or whatever's left of him anyway.
Someone, I don't know who, is killing my men, taking my territory, stealing my goods. Might be a fellow name of Galvani.
So, of course, I do just that. I cross through the alleyways and the street and head into Galvani's offices, avoiding as many guards as I can while I look for this fella. When I do finally find him, there's 2 guards in the room, but I put both of them to sleep. Then I see Buddy sprawled out on the table like a Thanksgiving turkey. What the hell were these freaky ass guards doing? Slackjaw's guy is clearly dead, so we grab his last message and sneak our way all the way back to Slackjaw and give it to him.
Slackjaw, it's me, Crowley. I'm making this in case I don't make it back. You was right. There is someone wants you dead. Wants to take over the distillery and the whole Bottle Street gang. And you'll never believe who it is neither. At first I didn't. That's why it's taken me so long. I wanted to be sure, and what's that? No! No! Ah!
So Crowley's dead. Too bad.
The cliche moment where he doesn't get the name off before he dies, of course.
After listening to his cliche-ass last message, Slackjaw tells us there's one more thing for us to do before he handles the Pendletons. We have to somehow get a code from an art dealer by the name of Bunting. That code will unlock his safe that apparently stashes some pretty valuable things that Slackjaw wants. So, he wants us to go get it for him. I don't really have much choice, so after accepting the terms, I start making my way towards the Golden Cat. But on the way there, I see some lady getting harassed by 2 guards. This is one of those side objectives I was talking about earlier. You're rewarded for exploring and taking different pathways throughout Dunwall. Anyways, of course I had to save her. There was one problem though. Doing this without killing these goddamn idiots while also not alerting them was so hard. After multiple failed attempts, I finally saved the poor lady, and she just so happened to be a servant for this bunting guy that we're looking for, so she gives me a key to his house.
Protect me?
You grab her, I'll take.
No, I need it for my little one so he won't get sick. Thank you, sir. You saved me. How can I thank you? I have nothing. Wait, take this. It's the backdoor service key to Bunting's house, the art dealer on the main street.
Why do you just have this?
I used to work for him, you know.
Oh,
before
that makes
the
sense.
plague. He's let all his servants go, but he's still there. Probably hoping he'll be able to sell something from that safe of his. I don't know what he has left, but it's all I have to offer you. Please take it.
I'm not gonna lie, I completely felt like a supernatural steampunk Batman at this point, heroic, and I haven't killed anyone. I finally make my way to the rooftops just across the street from the Golden Cat, and I quickly make my way over. When I'm finally inside, I sneak my way around all the guards and girls and make my way to where the art dealer is at. And,
Finally, I've been like this for 20 minutes. Your footsteps sound a little loud.
What the fuck?
Not just like last time, understand? Slowly, and only trigger the shock at my command. Get it? And the safe word tonight will be retribution, let's say. You hear that? You stop.
Oh, hell no. Buddy's a freak.
Out of a job.
I should just kill him, bro. Fuck this non-lethal run. He needs to go. What the?
Stay focused, please. Oh, that's good. I deserve that one. Shall I tell you why? The Pendletons are here, right? I'll start with them. I've cheated them, robbed them of thousands.
What?
Oh, you're ruthless. Don't hold back. I'll tell you everything. The Pendleton's inheritance was worth hundreds of thousands at least. I told them it was junk.
I don't remember this.
Retribution! Retribution!
after getting the code from the grandfather of Goonery, I'm finally off to rescue Emily. It was honestly pretty simple too. I mean, all I had to do was choke out the owner of the place, look through her belongings, and boom, here we are. We found Emily.
Who are you? Why are you wearing that mask? Corvo? Corvo, it's you!
After reuniting with Emily finally, we send her back to Samuel and the boat, and we're off to finish our last order of business, returning the code to Slackjaw. But here's the thing. To obtain the achievement on this level, I'll need to completely rob the safe for myself and then return the code to him afterwards, without him knowing. Which is honestly perfect considering I wanted to do that anyway. I make it to Bunting's house and sneak past some of Slackjaw's goons and open up the safe, taking everything inside before heading back to Slackjaw. So of course, I give Slackjaw the code to the safe and he tells me that I won't have to worry about the Pendletons anymore, which proceeds to give us the achievement, the Art of the Steal.
There it is, the Art of the Steal. Alright.
After that, we're all done, and then we head back to Sam. For completing this mission and successfully saving Emily, we also get the achievement, Childcare, bringing us to a total of 9 achievements. For mission 4, the second we get back to the pub, we're sent out again to kidnap a guy by the name of Anton Sokolov. He's actually the inventor of all the security systems throughout Dunwall and the elixirs that corvo uses throughout the game. When I hop off the boat, I'm greeted with plenty of guards, but I have no problem sneaking my way past them to an electric-powered cart, which I happen to ride across completely undetected. Upon entering the next area though, there's even more guards roaming the area. As you can see, Anton Sokolov is a very important man. Anyways, I of course work my way around them undetected as best as I can until I'm greeted with something called an arc pylon. This device is simple. If you're in range and inside of it, you get fried to a crisp. But the best part about Dishonored though is that there's always a way to deal with literally everything in the game. I work my way around the back of it, staying out of sight of it, and disable it by removing the oil tank which powers it. And then I proceed onto the bridge. But you see, before crossing the bridge, I had to work my way to the top of the bridge for a specific achievement. So, while knocking out any guards I see along the way, I work my way to the top of the bridge, giving us the achievement, King of the World.
This is so sick, bro.
I'm not too sure why, but this was one of my favorite parts of the game. Climbing this bridge was so fun. Unfortunately though, my inner thoughts won when I reached the top.
I just think I'll die if I drop, like I fall off this in the water. I didn't. Oh my.
Yeah, and reloading the autosave reset me all the way to the bottom of the bridge again. Anyways, after working my way past the bridge, I make it to the area where Sokolov's house is located. And this place is even more heavily guarded than any of the previous sections. Nonetheless, I maneuver my way around until Sokolov's house is in view. But there's 2 guards guarding the front door, which honestly was no problem at all for me. Once we get inside Sokolov's house, it's packed to the brim with enemy guards, and Sokolov himself is located on the very top floor of the building. After working my way around the guards and spying on this guy that was a little too interested in this painting of the Spy Master.
Get out of the way, bro. Stop admiring the artwork, big bro. This must be the most fascinating painting of a bald man I've ever seen. Me personally, the most fascinating bald man I've ever seen is probably Kratos. Oh my god, I just want to rub his big, bald, angry head. We finally make it to the top floor and find Sokolov. And of course, we immediately choke his ass out. And for some reason, his freaky ass was keeping a slave or something for human experimentation, so obviously we had to free her too.
Thank you, whoever you are.
That's subject 312.
Like an animal. The pain is horrible right now. So I'll just hide in a corner and leave when I'm feeling better.
Alright.
Now, all I had to do was get Sokolov back to the boat. Simple, right? I mean, you'd think so.
Shit.
After completing this mission completely undetected and with kidnapping Sokolov, I'm given the achievements Capturing Genius and Madness and Surgical.
Alright, this should get us 2 achievements here. Yep. Capturing Genius and Madness and Surgical. 12 achievements down. Whole lot to go.
On to mission 5, we actually need to get some very important information out of Sokolov, who is rightfully not very cooperative, which leaves you 2 options. Scare him with rats, or fetch him a bribe. That bribe being alcohol. Obviously, doing a good guy playthrough, I went for the bribe, and Piero is selling the alcohol, so I was off to find Piero. But remember when I said Piero was a gooner?
What are you doing? Hey!
Until then,
I know it looks... I was inventing a new kind of lock.
What?
Tumblers shaped like snowflakes. Okay. The truth is, there is no snowflake lock. I was just, you know, looking through the lock.
At? Oh. Okay.
I couldn't bear it if she knew. I know you're a man of honor, and I also know that you can kill me at any time. And for both of these reasons, I apologize and beg for your discretion.
Yeah, Piero's bitch ass was being a peeping Tom. What an absolute sexual deviant, bro. Regardless, while I was here, I grabbed the alcohol from him and decided to see who he was spying on.
Oh, hell nah. Oh, hell nah.
Yeah, bro, this Piero fella is fried, man. Anyways, I take the bottle back to Sokolov, who is more than happy to talk now. He gives information about a masked party that the Boyles are throwing. We'll need to eliminate one of the Boyle women that has connections to the Lord Regent, just so we can scare him. So, just like that, we're off to a party. When I first get here though, I'm greeted by a new enemy type, Tall Boys. I'm not really sure how to explain them, but they're like mini mechs piloted by an enemy guard, and the only true way to eliminate them was to drop on the guard in the Tall Boy from above and killing him. which, I mean, I can't do. I can't kill anyone. This is a non-lethal playthrough. So of course, just like the rest of the playthrough, I had to sneak around it. Once I was inside though, I needed to hand the guard at the front an invitation. I handed it to him, and before I went inside, I pickpocketed these rich individuals out front. The reason being is because we need to pickpocket a total of 200 coins for an achievement. What better place to do it than a rich people party? Doing this would net us the achievement Thief.
Lying sack of shit. I hope he's paying you well for this.
Yoink. Oh, there we go, we got Thief. Once inside, while mingling with the guests, we find a lady by the name of Miss White. In return for bringing her a glass of wine, she gives us information on the right Lady Boyle and which one we need to eliminate. But unfortunately, we won't just be finding her, choking her out, and leaving. We need to find a guy by the name of Lord Brisby, who happens to be the lover of the Lady Boyle that we need to eliminate, and he knows that we want to eliminate her. So he wants to make a deal. Knock her out and bring her to the cellar beneath the mansion, and he'll see that she's taken care of, in a non-lethal way, of course. So, considering this is a non-lethal playthrough, I happily oblige and locate the right Lady Boyle, telling her that I'm quote-unquote here to save her life, and someone important is here to meet her in the cellar, which for some reason she just agrees to.
Are you ill? You remember who's who, don't you?
No guests past this point.
So then we proceed down to the cellar, and when she makes it there, I choke her out and hand her off to her lover, which, honestly, he was kind of creepy about it. I kind of fear for that lady.
Quickly, let's get her on board.
Last, oh my love, someday you will understand. You'll never know how happy you've made me. Someday she'll learn to appreciate me. After all, she'll have her whole life.
Regardless, my job here was completely done, so I headed back out into the streets, took out a guard, and snuck past the tall boy on the way back to Samuel. But when we do get back to the river, Sam has moved and the river gate was closing, so I jumped into the water and quickly made my way past the closing gate using Blink. I take care of him. Upon beating this mission without causing any trouble for the guests or alerting any of the guards, we get well-mannered. Our 6th mission also just so happens to be my favorite mission in all of Dishonored. It was finally time to take out the Lord Regent and have the rightful heir Emily reclaim the throne. But honestly, it's a lot better on a high chaos playthrough, and you'll see why later. So, after a quick mission briefing and getting into it with the maids...
Hello, love.
Love? What did you just call me? What you trying to get into, Lydia? Huh? Don't call me love, you ain't trying to get into something crazy.
We head over to Sam, who takes us back to where it all began, Dunwall Tower.
Most important thing is killing the Lord Regent. Built himself quite a place at the top of the tower. Calls it his safe room or something. Crazy if you ask me.
Another point of interest while I'm giving you the grand tour, Corvo. Broadcast control station here where all them announcements come from. Might be worth looking into.
You ready? Next time I see you, the Lord Regent will be dead. And if not, well, it was an honor to serve with you.
Thanks, Samuel. You a real one, bro.
After we arrive and I make it to the top of the boat lift, I learn that this place is absolutely littered with guards everywhere because of the Lord Regent's fear for our masked hero Corvo. So I decide to take a side route, following the pipeline outside of the boat lift, only to be greeted with even more guards. Getting through this undetected was actually a lot harder than it looked, and it required so much patience. But after sneaking my way past the majority of the guards and finding what I thought was an alternate route, I find a worker down here who just so happens to hate working for the Lord Regent, and he ends up opening the moat overflow gate for us, allowing us to swim past most of the guards.
I beg you, just let me live so I can see my children again. Every day I work here is another day I risk offending that tyrant and getting thrown into Coldridge prison. Listen, I can help you. Just use that valve to open the moat overflow gate. You can get access to the tower's main doors from there. Oh, watch out for the hagfish. I've seen him take a finger off.
This right here is what I honestly love the most about Dishonored. In every single level, there's so many different options and pathways to approach your objective, and you're just so rewarded for exploring each individual pathway. I proceed to swim my way across the moat and sneak my way up to a hatch, and we finally make it into Dunwall Tower. We were so close to finishing off the Lord Regent at this point. But, once again, we wouldn't be simply choking him out and being on our merry way. No. To obtain 2 achievements, we'd have to use something a bit more indirect, similar to what we did with the Pendletons and Lady Boyle. To do that, though, we had to make our way up to the broadcast station, which just so happened to have an arc pylon guarding the entire staircase. So, I made quick work of it by working my way to the bottom of the staircase and removing the oil tank, which proceeds to turn it off.
Citizens are encouraged to bring any whale oil in their possession to the City Watch at once. Anyone caught burning oil will be subject to arrest.
So that's the guy who's been doing all these messages.
We must all trust in the region.
Well, I got something for him to say.
I then went up to the top of the stairs and meet with the guy spreading propaganda for the Lord Regent through speakers that are placed all throughout Dunwall.
Please don't hurt me. You're here to kill the Regent, aren't you? Spare my life, and I can help you beat him. He makes recordings on audiograph, secrets, some that would destroy him if others heard. Played on this amplifier, his confessions would be broadcast throughout the city. He'll be ruined.
Hell yeah.
The audiograph card you want is in a safe in the Lord Regent's room, but I was able to see the combination over his shoulder. 935. Trust me, what's recorded on that card will do the trick. Good luck.
He tells me that if I spare him, he'll help me take care of the Lord Regent, and to do so, that we'd need to obtain some voice recordings of the Lord Regent from his safe. Some of which that would absolutely destroy him and his position of power if we were to broadcast them to all of Dunwall using the broadcast station. So after gladly agreeing, I make my way to the Lord Regent's room, and what do you know? It's the bald guy who looks like Vulture. Remember this guy, you bald mother? I gotta say though, putting in the code and stealing from his safe all while he was walking around in his room was actually really hard, but in the end, I managed to grab everything in the safe. I made my way back up to the broadcast station and started playing the recordings, letting every person in Dunwall listen to it. This would also give us the achievement Political Suicide.
Then you will see I am not at fault. My poverty eradication plan was meant to
Nice, political suicide.
to the city, to rid us of those scoundrels who waste their days in filth and drink without homes or occupations other than to beg for the coin for which the rest of us toil.
With this, our job here was finished, and that bald bastard was getting what he deserved.
Is that treason? Care of the poor.
It's over, Hiram. Your head
The
will roll
plan
for what you
worked perfectly. I'll make you rich men if you just let me go. First, I beg you. But the rats.
You nearly destroyed this city. No amount of money will undo
They
that.
hid from the catchers and bred at
Get him ready for the walk to Coldridge.
Soon it didn't matter. Rich, poor, all were falling.
All we had to do now was sneak our way back to our boy Samuel and get the hell out of here. When we finally make it back and complete the mission, I get the achievement Poetic Justice.
Is it all done? You ready to go back to the Hound Pits?
Now Lord Regent has ended, yes.
Thanks to you, Corvo. All right, let's go.
There it is, Poetic Justice. You neutralized all key targets using indirect means.
To actually obtain this achievement, that means I had to eliminate every single key target throughout the entire game up to this point using quote-unquote indirect means. For example, letting Slackjaw handle the Pendletons. This was an extremely missable achievement, and I'm glad I got it out of the way. When we get back to the pub and spread the news that the Lord Regent has been dethroned, it was time to celebrate, of course. Emily, the rightful heir, was going to claim the throne and everything would get better. Yeah, unfortunately there's 3 missions left in the game, so of course that's not how it's going to work.
On rising for Dunwall and the Empire. Emily comes first. In a pinch, Wallace could manage to escape.
Bro, why are you being so weird? I've been drugged. We've been drugged.
Yep. The bastards drugged us after doing all the hard work for them while they sat on their asses. When Corvo wakes up though, he falls to the floor and the group stands around him talking about how it'll look like they saved the princess and dealt with the regent. We also learned that it was Samuel who drugged us, but he only ended up giving us half of a dose. You see, our boy Sam had to do it so they wouldn't suspect anything, but he gave us a non-lethal amount, ensuring that we would survive.
I'm sorry something terrible, Corvo, but I only gave you half the poison. They were watching me and it was all I could think to do. I think you're strong enough to survive that. I'll put you on a raft and then I've got to ship out myself before they find out I've gone against their wishes. Snakes. They'll want to do the same to me as soon as I've outlived my uses. Hopefully you'll wake up and find your way out of this cursed
Shout out
city.
to my boy Sam, bro. Shout out to Samuel. GOAT.
That's why old man Sam is the fucking GOAT, god damn it. While being hauled off to wherever they were gonna toss us, we wake up for a brief moment and see 2 assassins on the boat with us. These assassins looked really similar to the ones that helped assassinate the Empress at the beginning of the game. And sure enough, moments later, we're actually face to face with the Empress's killer, Dowd, who will be very important later on in this video, and you'll see why. When I wake up again, I wake up in some kind of trash bin thing. This nice little rat was giving us cuddles though. Unfortunately for them though, they happened to leave a brick down here with me, so I bust out using that. After I make it out, it was time to go retrieve my gear, which was tossed at the bottom of some industrial tower thingy. It was a pretty easy walk over there, and when I do actually get there, I work my way past the assassins that happen to be on the tower and make it to my gear pretty quickly. This ends up giving me the achievement, "This is mine." And then it was time to go pay a visit to Dowd. On my way to confront Dowd, I deal with 2 assassins that happen to be keeping watch.
I think he died, so we're gonna have to restart.
Soon after that, I make it to Dowd's base, and of course it's swarming with enemies. Though at this point, I was ready to be done with this full stealth thing and made quick work of them on the way to Dowd. And then I make it to Dowd, who's in a room with 1 other assassin. To get a certain achievement, I had to spare Dowd's life here while also stealing his key completely undetected. Doing so took me a few tries to get, but I got it done.
Lord Regent, Royal Spy Master, Hiram Burroughs. You small, worried man. You'll never know how many times I've thought about trying to get close to you again. Just put a piece of sharp metal in your eye. But now there's no need. Is this how you protected the Empress? Do you think you can hide from a hunter of men?
Now, all I had to do was make it out of this hellhole without being seen, and doing so while also sparing Dowd's life would get me the achievement, Mercy is the Mark. For the 8th mission, we were almost back to the Hound Pits pub, and we happened to run into Cecilia, someone who used to work there. She tells us what went down after we passed out and were taken away.
Well, thank the stars. We all thought you'd been killed, except for Samuel. He seemed sure you'd survived. I saw him on the river shortly before the killing began. He was smart enough not to come ashore, but I'll bet he's still out there. Looking for you is my guess. At first, Pendleton said it was time for our bonus. Havelock stood behind them, and at the signal, he shot them each in the back of the head.
That's fucking terrible.
Just like the target drills he used to. Lydia barely had time to scream. I would be dead too. Except Wallace told me I wouldn't be getting anything. Pendleton kept apologizing, saying that no one could ever know about the things they'd done. Martin was drinking and seemed sad. The Admiral was about to shoot Callista. Then he mumbled something about owing her uncle, Captain Kurnow, a debt. They said it was time for Sokolov, and went off to his cage. I don't know what happened after that.
You know how hard it is to do a non-lethal playthrough of this game? People in this game are terrible.
Emily was there when the killing started.
Bro!
Poor child.
Dude, I want to kill everybody. This high chaos run for the next playthrough is going to be the greatest palate cleanser of all time.
After a brief conversation with her, the Hound Pit's pub was in view and it was swarming with guards everywhere. There was even a tall boy out here. I work my way past them using Blink and up to the rooftops until I make it to Corvo's old room. One problem though, there's guards everywhere. So I decided to turn back around and head down to Piero's workshop instead. And what do you know? I find Piero and Sokolov trapped inside. The two geniuses devise a great plan to use the arc pylon on the top of the building to either stun all of the guards around the pub or completely fry them and kill them. The choice for this playthrough was obvious. But to get it fully working, they would need a blueprint that Havelock took from them that happens to be in his room now. So, I snuck my way to the blueprint, dealing with the guard in his room, and brought it back to them.
Astonishing.
After they finish working on the device, they ask me what I'd like to do. Kill them or put them to sleep. I obviously have to choose the non-lethal option and headed to the roof to put the oil tanks inside, and man, did it work like a charm.
Damn.
After zapping all of the guards, we head over to the lighthouse, the same that which Emily stayed in when she stayed here, and we find Callista, Emily's caretaker. She essentially tells us that Pendleton, Havelock, and Martin killed all of the workers and that she was helpless in trying to stop them from taking Emily. She also tells us that Sam is out looking for us and that we can use the flare and Sam will pull up. And of course, without fail, the goat doesn't let us down, baby.
Thought I'd find you here.
Shut up, my ghost, Sam.
Controls the military now.
Real ride or die, man.
After a heartfelt reunion with my goat Samuel, we were off to finish this for good. There was absolutely no achievements for this mission on Low Chaos, unfortunately, but I really loved this mission. Now on to the final mission of Dishonored, and with that, we were off to King Sparrow Island. This is basically a giant fortress, and the three of them were in there with Emily. And after saying my goodbye to Sam, I was off.
After she's on the throne, she won't have time for an old
Oh
man.
hell no, you're coming with us, brother.
I knew you were sharp, Corvo. But somehow you managed to get through all this mess without losing sight of what really matters. For that, I respect you.
I respect you,
The city's
Sam.
gonna pull itself up, I believe. Too many good people here to let it all turn to ashes. I'd best be going. Battlefield's no place for an old sailor like me. That time is long past. Good luck, my friend.
See you, Sam. Last mission, let's fucking go! Last mission on Low Chaos, thank God. I'm so ready to just kill people.
You could tell at this point I was really ready to just be done with this whole Low Chaos thing. Anyways, upon arriving on the beach, there's two entrances to this place. The harborside entrance and the beachside entrance. Either way we went, we'd have to disable a wall of light and get past tons of guards. I opted to go for the harborside entrance and made my way through using Blink. And then I made my way over to a pipe opening. Inside, there was a guard and a whale oil tank powering the wall of light, so I disabled it and went back out and past the wall of light. With that, we were past the first line of defense and into the fort, where even more guards were at. I choked out one of the guards and made my way into the side door and quickly dealt with another one. I then proceeded to crouch my way through the pipeline under the fort and made my way into the gatehouse. And then I used a chain to climb my way all the way to the top of the staircase. The layout of this level was actually so sick. Being so high up and all, and just, I don't know, I just love the scenery in this game. Anyways, I snuck my way under this catwalk / bridge thing with an arc pylon on it and made quick work of a guard and
Please don't fall off. Yeah.
Ooh, someone's not feeling well.
Are you kidding me? Ain't no fucking way that's how. Are you? Oh my.
Yeah, it's safe to say that guy was dead, so I had to boot up the autosave. Regardless, I made it past these guards and made it to the elevator and headed all the way up to the top. This was where the three of them were at, the lighthouse. I dealt with the guard outside of the elevator and then I admired the view.
Yeah, I don't know about leaning on that railing, bro. At least you can still look out to the... Oh my god, look how high up we are. I don't want to jump off.
And then I choked another guard out on the way there until we finally made it into the lighthouse, the final stretch. All I had to do now was head up the staircase and finish this once and for all.
Lord Trevor Pendleton, neglected youngest son.
God, he killed everybody. Ridiculous. This power.
After dealing with that backstabbing bastard, we were finally reunited with Emily, which instantly gets us the achievement, Long Live the Empress.
Oh, let him know.
Corvo! I knew you'd come.
All right, we got Long Live the Empress.
You like the Empress?
Got complete the game. Nice. Okay, so holy shit.
And upon completing the mission, we're bombarded with achievements. Beating the game without purchasing any other powers other than Blink gets me mostly Flesh and Steel. Completing the entire game while remaining undetected gets me Shadow. And staying undetected while also not killing anyone throughout the entire game gets me Ghost. Beating the entire game without killing absolutely anybody lands me Clean Hands. Also, finishing the game with Low Chaos gets me just Dark Enough. And last but not least, just beating the game in general gives me Resolution. Overall, after my first playthrough of Dishonored, the total achievement count was 25 out of 80.
So ends the interregnum, and now Emily Kaldwin I will take her mother's throne after a season of turmoil. You will stand at her side, Corvo, guiding her young mind and protecting her from those who seek to exploit her or cause her harm. You watched and listened when other men would have shouted in rage. You held back instead of striking. So it is, with the passing of the plague and Emily's ascension, comes a golden age, brought about by your hand.
Everybody thriving? Everybody gets a happy ending. Where's Samuel, though? There he is, my goat.
And decades hence, when your hair turns white and you pass from this world, Empress Emily, Emily the Wise, at the height of her power, will lay your body down within her mother's great tomb, because you are more to her than royal protector. Farewell, Corvo.
And then we just got just Dark Enough. Let's go!
Now to kill everybody. Alright, calm down, bro. Buddy really thought that sounded cool. Anyways, it was finally time to move on to my second playthrough of Dishonored. But this time, we would be doing it in high chaos. Meaning, we'd be as chaotic and as lethal as possible. So basically the fun version of the playthrough.
I'm like, what do you say fuck me for?
But this time around, in terms of the video itself, now that you know the general gist of the main story of Dishonored, if you even cared at all, for the high chaos playthrough, we're only going to be focusing on getting the achievements, so this shouldn't take nearly as long. Well, here we were, back at Dunwall Tower. After heading up the boat lift and being greeted by Emily and her asking me to play hide and seek again and telling her absolutely the fuck not.
You need to leave!
What, man? Come on, this is like the black suit Toby playthrough. I'm gonna be an evil bastard. Anyways, continuing on, you know the gist. We're framed, thrown in prison, and given a key to our cell, and then it was finally time to get to work for real. For our first achievement on High Chaos, Rogue, we would need to assassinate 10 unaware enemies. And bro, let me tell you, that first kill was literally euphoric, bro.
Attention. The solitary
Oh, that feels so good after just doing stealth the entire time. Oh my god, that feels so good. And honestly, so were the next 9 of them. Nice, there's a rogue. Assassinate 10 unaware enemies. After that, I would need to fight at least 5 enemies at once without any of them surviving for the achievement Cleaner. To obtain this, the strategy was simple. When you use the bomb on the door, it alerts a ton of guards that come running up behind you, but instead of jumping in the water, I would turn around and take them out. There you go, there's Cleaner. Nice. Now look, I'm not saying Dishonored has the greatest combat system of all time, but oh my god is it so satisfying. And that would do it for the achievements on this mission, so I quickly headed to the boat and went on to mission 2. For mission 2, I had a whopping 7 achievements to obtain just on this one level. To knock out the first one, Wall of Sparks, we'd need to rewire a wall of light, knock out a guard, and then toss him into it, killing him.
And potentially beyond. In addition, in this continuing crisis, the overseers of the Abbey and the Everyman remain in
It is Wall of Sparks. It was a simple enough achievement, but honestly I had to restart the level once I realized I didn't have a rewiring tool, so.
For the generous loan of their services.
After that, we had another really simple one, Razor Rain. All we had to do was just drop assassinate 5 enemies. Alright, it's Razor Rain done. For our next one though, it would be a bit more complicated. We had to go talk to this old creepy lady called Granny Rags, who just so happened to be getting some visitors from the Bottle Street gang, and she asks us to deal with them. For a reward, of course. So, obviously I take care of business.
I'll let my girlfriend wear it.
Damn, blew his head smooth off. Afterwards, we're rewarded with a rune, and for this playthrough, these would be crucial as I'd need a lot of the supernatural abilities to progress. The main one for this mission being Possession, which allowed you to take control of animals at level 1, and at level 2 it let you take control of humans. So after being tasked with going to grab some rat guts from Galvani's offices by Granny Rags, I head over and make my way inside and find the nearest vent. You see, for the achievement Creepy Crawly, we'd have to enter a rat tunnel, and the only way to do so is by possessing a rat, of course. Alright, there's Creepy Crawly. After getting that out of the way though, we'd have to get the achievement Inhabitant, which basically needed me to possess others for almost 3 minutes. To obtain this, you could just stay in the rat tunnel for about that time, considering you'd never change back into your human form as long as you stayed in the rat tunnel. Alright, let's check out those. There we go. Inhabitants. For our next achievement, Speed of Darkness, I would need to travel at least 30 meters in less than a second. I'm not gonna lie, I had absolutely zero clue how to get this one, so I looked it up and came back with using the time bend ability, which would slow down time, and then just spamming the blink button, and that inevitably got me the achievement. Spam the blink ability. Here we go. Speed of Darkness, travel 30 meters in less than 1 second. Nice. After that, to get alive without breath, all we had to do was take possession of a fish. Alive without breath. And onto the one after that, we had to get back home, which means we had to grab a live grenade, toss it back, and kill them with it. This achievement seems really easy on paper, but it's actually not, because the guards actually move out of the way like good enemy AI. But using the time bend ability actually made this so much easier. There we go, back home is done. You see, it's cool shit like this that makes Dishonored so awesome. Like, what other game allows you to slow time, drop a grenade at someone's feet, and then resume time and blow them up? Like, bro, that's so sick. After that, I was completely finished with this mission. All I had to do was go grab the first Sokolov painting, and then we were out of here. Oh yeah, I also poisoned Overseer Campbell. That was pretty funny.
I almost wish I'd been there.
Take it easy there, old son.
I'm all right, Colonel. Went down the wrong way. Can't allow you to... Oh no. This can't be happening. Who's done this?
What on earth are you talking about?
No time, no time. Listen carefully. You must instruct the Lord Regent to burn the Black Book. Understand? Burn it!
What Black Book? What do you mean?
Helen, warn them, and then I'll plague you, useless incompetent. I never liked you.
On to mission 3, it starts off with Piero being weird towards the maids again, because this guy has nothing better to do, bro. And then we're back off to the distillery district. For my first achievement on this mission, all I needed to do was assassinate an assassin. Here we go, food chain is done. And for the next achievement, Manipulator, I would need to make enemies kill 5 of their own allies. I'm not gonna lie, I also had no idea how to get this one, but shout out to the GOAT Rothmax. I used this team guide for this. Basically how this strategy worked is we needed to knock out 5 of Slackjaw's men in their hideout, pile them up, and then save real quick. After that, we would need to get one of the Bottle Street gang members angry and lure them out to the pile of bodies. Since these specific enemies have a move where they spit fire at you, he would eventually do just that and kill all of his allies in the pile, getting us the achievement. Need him to blow the fire. Okay, doing this with 2 guys is a little difficult. So we're gonna kill him.
Gonna feed you to the rats.
There we go. Manipulator. Dude, how genius is that? Oh man. Rothmax, you're a genius, bro. And for the achievement after that, Hornet's Nest, we needed to kill 4 enemies in less than a second with the crossbow, which, thanks to that save we made just a bit earlier, we just needed to reload the save, use the time bend ability, and shoot each one of them in the head. There we go. Kill 4 enemies in less than 1 second using the crossbow. Dude, let's go. Oh, Rothmax, my goat. Thank you. I had no idea how to get those. And once again, shout out to Rothmax. This was such a clever way to go about getting these achievements. Absolute legend. After that, I headed over to the art dealer's house to rob the safe once again, this time for the collectible Sokolov paintings. Just in the art dealer's house alone, we'd find paintings 2, 3, and 4. We would also need to complete the side quest for Slackjaw and Granny Rags for an achievement later, but I'll save you the time and edit those out. Now, on to the final achievement of Mission 3, Unfortunate Accident. We need to head to the Golden Cat and take care of Morgan Pendleton, but this time using Steam. But first, we had to zap this freaky ass art dealer again until he gave us the code to his safe, the one I already looted previously, and then all I had to do was make a quick save. Then I headed down into the Steam rooms where I found Morgan and a girl. I kicked in the door, put him to sleep, took the girl out, and then went and cranked the Steam to 300%. Alright, Morgan. Sayonara, buddy. I want to see. There we go, an unfortunate accident. After that, all I had to do was reload the save to back before I killed Morgan and go hand over the safe code to Slackjaw so he could take care of the Pendletons instead. Because, as I said before, we needed to do all the side quests for Slackjaw and Granny Rags for an achievement later on. Then we just headed back to Sam and we're out of here, baby. As for Mission 4, look, I ain't gonna lie, there was absolutely zero obtainable achievements for this mission, but, there was the 5th Sokolov painting. Mission 5 was a completely different story though. Remember that tall boy I had to sneak past on my last playthrough? Yeah, nah, not this time, bro. There it is, big boy. After entering the party, the first thing I wanted to do was get the paintings out of the way early since they were on the 2nd floor. But now after the paintings were out of the way, we needed to get prepared for Harm's Way. For this achievement, I had to cause 5 unintentional deaths. It wasn't the easiest thing ever, to be honest. First, I had to grab a key to a storage room off this guard and then take control of any guards or witnesses and end up shoving them into this room, then either killing them if they're a guard or knocking them out if they're a civilian. There's about to be a freaking pile of bodies in here, my friend. Afterwards, I would have to take control of 5 of the partygoers using possession, then walk them into the wall of light. This took way longer than it should have because I kept having to restart because I ran out of mana elixirs, but...
Are you okay?
I feel like a supervillain right now, like... I'm gonna force somebody against their will to walk over here and frickin' like die. It's gotta be done. I think that's 3. I need 2 more. There we go. Are you kidding me, bro? You know what? With that, we were completely done with this mission, but on the way out, I grabbed a blueprint from this room that we needed for an achievement later on. And then I headed back to the pub, and before I wrapped up this mission for good, I stopped at Piero and just started buying any weapon or gear upgrades I could find to get the achievement Merchant of Disorder. I'm just gonna keep buying until I get the achievement. I don't think I'll be able to get it. I think I might be able to, actually. There it is, Merchant of Disorder. I got it. Nice. Now we're back to my favorite mission in the game. Remember when I said this mission is way better and way cooler on High Chaos? Yeah, you're gonna see why in a bit. Anyways, for this mission, all we had to do was kill the Lord Regent, find Sokolov painting number 8, and then grab a blueprint, and then we're done. The first thing I wanted to get done was finding the damn painting in this absolute maze. So I worked my way through the hallways, killed a couple guards, shot a maid in the face with a crossbow, and then I finally found painting number 8. Then it was time to find the blueprint. Unfortunately, on the way there though, I was detected, and when you get detected on this level, they alert the regent and he runs up to the rooftop, so it makes things take a little longer. But honestly, I'm kind of glad it went this way. It was way cooler and way more fun. After finally locating and obtaining the blueprint for the explosive bullets, I headed to the roof to finally go deal with Vulture. I took out a few guards on the way, and then when I got inside the room he was in, I took out a tall boy and all hell broke loose. I want him to know I'm coming. Now, all that was left was me and this bald motherfucker. I disabled the wall of light and made my way over to him. Oh, Lord Regent.
For the love of Dunwall, how did you get to me?
You bald motherfucker.
An hallucination. My eyes see what they fear. Why do you hide your face? Are you some phantom behind that mask? Some terrible spirit here to punish me for my lack of perfection? What do you intend to do? I must know. Are you even capable of mercy?
Ooh, what's more aura? Removing my mask or leaving it on? You'll be wondering who I am. Nah, I'm removing it. He gets to know Corvo Attano killed him, bro. Motherfucker.
Corvo! How is it even possible? My mind reels. You're the one who's been tearing at us, taking out my allies.
Shouldn't have killed the Empress and kidnapped her daughter, buddy.
Why come back now? You'd gotten away despite my efforts. Everyone believes you killed the Empress. And now, I'll have you put down like a dog. And history will remember me as the one who avenged her death.
Ugh. That is so much more satisfying than fucking having him die to political differences or political problems or whatever. Regicide. Let's go. That was so badass. Oh my god. Bro, tell me that wasn't so much cooler than taking care of him using quote-unquote indirect means. Killing Baldy would get me the achievement Regicide. All I had to do now was get the hell out of here.
Guards, get down. Explosion.
Yippee!
Is it all done? You ready to go back to the Hound Pits? Thanks to you, Corvo. All right, let's go.
Alright, let's go get betrayed by these pieces of shit again. On to mission 7, we get back to the pub and the differences of High Chaos really start to show. Emily greets me at the door and asks how many people I killed last night like a little psychopath. Go get betrayed.
Did you kill anybody tonight? How many?
Pendleton, Havelock, and Martin are much ruder to each other and on edge.
The armed forces will do their job. Martin has control of the overseers, and you, Trevor, do whatever it is you do with Parker.
That's Lord Trevor Pendleton to you. Without me,
Damn,
you'll
this is
never
way
can.
different than the low chaos
He'll tear
playthrough.
you apart like a fish.
Sorry, Corvo. We're nervous.
And worst of all, Emily's drawing isn't a nice, beautiful work of art anymore like it used to be. It's a dark, creepy guy holding a knife, which is Corvo, obviously. After that, you know the rest. Head up the stairs, fall over, pass out. They tell Sam to take care of me, and Sam is actually a lot ruder this time if you're a chaotic killer.
Why I keep sticking my neck out for you eludes me. But I only gave you half the poison, Corvo. They were watching me do it, but not close enough. Maybe you'll survive it. I can hardly blame them for turning on you. After all the people slaughtered in the name of this cause. was her crimes of state. And maybe they figured it'd be too hard to control Emily with you around. Could be they're right on that score.
Anyways, after I get tossed in the trash bin with the rat again and break out with a brick, it was time to get my gear back. So I head on over and head down to my gear. The only problem being there's a ton of weepers because of the high chaos playthrough. But that wasn't a bad thing, as it would help us get the achievement Versatile. There we go. Versatile. Kill characters with each weapon and defensive gadget. Let's go. After putting the poor Weepers out of their misery, I headed back towards Dowd's hideout to grab Sokolov painting number 9. Oh, and there's a Weeper in here. I'm sorry, I have to kill you. I'm sorry. And then it was time to go kill Dowd, so I started clearing out some assassin goons as I made my way to him. When I do finally get there, I actually pin a guy's head to the wall using my crossbow, which I honestly had no idea you could even do this in this game, but it was sick as hell.
Royal. Hiram Burrows.
Damn. Dowd being dead though means it was actually time to get the hell out of here, but not before grabbing Sokolov painting number 10 on my way down the chain. Then I started working my way all the way back to the pub, but before we made it all the way back, remember how I needed to complete all the side quests for Granny Rags and Slackjaw? Yeah, it was time to cash in on those and earn some achievements. So we find this Slackjaw thug down in the sewers while he's injured, and he tells us something attacked Slackjaw's base using rats and ran into the sewers. They chased after it, but Slackjaw got captured. So I went in deeper looking for Slackjaw and find him and Granny Rags in a very unethical situation. She tells us to help her out, and to do so we need to put Slackjaw to the knife so he won't crawl out of the pot, so I did just that.
What you doing? Listen on me, Corvo. Don't help her. Don't let her kill me. You can have anything I own. Corn, whiskey. I got a key to the sewerways. Whatever you want.
Unlock his chains for me, darling. Toss him right in the pot. Go on. Oh, thank you. What a fine help you've been. I'll just let him stew a while now. Go ahead, darling. Take your presents and go. Granny's got things to do.
Afterwards, she sends us to go grab our quote-unquote present, and on the way there, the final Sokolov painting is finally collected. I think this is the last painting. Art dealer, let's go. Oh my god, I hate collectible achievements. When I do pick up the rune though, it gets me the achievement Gentleman Caller.
Find your way into...
Though after obtaining these 2 achievements, I reload a save right before helping her out, and this time I decide to help out Slackjaw by fighting Granny Rags. And they weren't exaggerating, she was a beast. This turned into a whole ass boss fight, bro.
Me. You can have anything I own. Corn, whiskey. I got a key to the sewerways. Whatever you want. Look around. There's a cameo of a young girl. It's her. Destroy it with the furnace. That says in the books it's the only way to get rid of her forever.
Oh my god, look at them all.
It's supposed to be her. When she's done, that's how she gets her powers. Throw it into the furnace. Burn the cameo and you kill her.
Not so easy to be rid of Granny Rags, is it?
Oh.
Shield me, ocean fogs, shield me! You're going to save him?
During the fight, Slackjaw tells me I need to go burn her cameo in the incinerator because that was the source of her powers or whatever. So I did just that and finally put Granny down one last time and then freed Slackjaw.
Luck to you, Corvo.
Street Conspiracy, let's go. Doing so would get me the achievement Street Conspiracy. And now it was finally time to head back to the pub and save Sokolov and Piero. We're instantly greeted by Cecilia again on this playthrough, and she explains that the same things happened this time around, only this time, since we were in high chaos, Havelock went about things a lot more brutally than the low chaos playthrough.
Havelock called us into the yard, but I wasn't feeling well. I just watched from the attic. The Admiral brought his cutlass. He stuck Wallace through the eye with it. Then he did Lydia. Callista he shot in the back with his pistol.
Oh my
And
god.
I saw it all.
That's so different, and if you don't save Callista's uncle, she gets killed in the shootings. I then made my way over to Piero's workshop and met with Sokolov and Piero real quick before heading back into the pub to grab the blueprints for them, taking out any guard I see along the way. After making quick work of the guards and grabbing the blueprints, I'm met with a choice once again on whether to zap them and kill them or to knock them out. I actually went with knocking them out again, and this was for a very specific achievement. You see, we needed to kill 6 enemies in less than 1 second. Just like the previous ones in this category, I had no clue how to obtain this, so I hit up Rothmax's guide once again, my goat, and this was the strategy. Knock out all of the guards using Piero's pylon, and then pile up 6 unconscious guards, and then toss a sticky grenade into the pile. Doing so correctly would get me the achievement Tempest. There we go, Tempest. Kill 6 enemies in 1 second. Let's go. Before ending the level, I headed up to Corvo's old room and saw a huge drawing Emily left for us on the wall. This was much different from the one on the low chaos playthrough, and this is why the Dishonored moral system is just so cool to me. Anyway, I proceeded to the tower we previously met Callista in, and she obviously wasn't here on this playthrough since she was killed by Havelock, since we never saved her uncle. We shot off the flare, Sam came to pick us up, and we were finally off to get revenge, once and for all. Okay, scratch everything I said about Mission 6 being my favorite. Mission 9 is the GOAT. On high chaos, the weather completely shifts. On low chaos, it's a nice sunny day, and on high chaos, it's a stormy ass windy night, which is a perfect backdrop for what Corvo was about to do. Not only that, but instead of all of them being poisoned in the same room at the end by Havelock, they're actually all fighting against one another throughout the level. You'll see. When we're getting off the boat though, our goat is disgusted with us and says some pretty harsh things.
Out, Corvo.
Damn, alright.
Let you go this once.
To start off, for the achievement Lights Out, I need to disable 5 of the security systems on the island. I first decided to take care of this big rotating tower, headed over to the right and disabled the arc pylons sitting over here, and then headed over to the open pipe. There was a guard in here, so I took care of him and disabled both walls of light, which would put us at a total of 4 out of 5. After I came back out, I crossed past the disabled wall of light and made my way into the next section. This is where we saw the biggest change in terms of high chaos. Martin and Pendleton were screaming at each other.
Settle this man to man.
The view is nice up here. I'm not moving.
Don't try to act brave, you worthless piece of inbred shit.
Come and get me if you're so strong.
Stupid blue blood. Let's see how you like this.
God.
Martin, you couldn't hit me if I was standing next to you.
Now I'll sit for a while and consider the problem of getting into the gatehouse.
Holy shit, it's a war zone here compared to what it was. But honestly, I'm gonna kill all of them. Obviously, I was gonna deal with each of the 3 personally, but first on the list was Martin, so I started working my way over to him.
Where are you? Got you now. Someone get over here. You are.
One's down.
Coming for you, Martin.
Firing.
We know you're here.
Take out his legs.
He's here. Someone
After completely cutting my way through Martin's men, I meet face to face with him, and he does something that you and I never expected.
Here to add me to your list? To write my name across the ground in blood? I'm not gonna plead innocence. When we dug you out of Cold Ridge Prison, we had the best of intentions. We'd find Emily and strike against the Lord Regent. But once we started ordering deaths, blackmailing those in power, and all the other things you're not supposed to do, well, I guess it just became a habit. It's a hard thing, holding the keys to the Empire in your hands. It weighs on a man's mind heavily. Curse Havelock and Pendleton as fools. Curse me as well. I can't stop you from going after Emily, but I'm not going to give you the privilege. I was born into nothing, and it's nothing I'll return to.
Oh my god. This game is nuts at high chaos. You're telling me this isn't like way better than low chaos? Yo, low chaos enjoyers are in shambles, bro. Yeah, this was just crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, now it was time for Pendleton to pay his due, so I quickly made my way over to him and find him actually already wounded.
Corvo, I knew you would get here. Well, you're too late. I'm already dying without your help. A stray bullet. I'll never know.
Man, they really scrapped over here, bro. They were fighting.
You want money? Well, I'm broke. Women, maybe? Everyone knows you were screwing the Empress. You like noble women. You should meet my cousin Celia.
I'll flush you out.
After Pendleton was gone, I made my way upwards and disabled the last arc pylon I needed for the achievement. There we go, lights out. All we had to do now was take the elevator up, take care of a few guards, and finally meet with Havelock. Wait, where the fuck was Havelock? This changes on high chaos too? My goodness, look at this. Look at this. Oh my god.
Quiet now, and move already, child.
Absolutely the fuck not.
Let me go! I am the Empress!
Stay where you are, Corvo, or I jump.
Corvo! Save me!
Quiet! You won't. Will you, Corvo? You had your...
Oh, I will.
chance to be a hero. In a minute, this will just be another bloody mess you've left behind. Did you want your honor back? To rescue the lady in distress? Oh no, Corvo. That's not you.
You're my hero. The others are all dead, aren't they? That's alright, because I was going to have them killed anyway. I am going to be Empress.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Back it up there, bucko. That wasn't satisfying enough for me. We need to take care of him with our own hands.
Stay where you are, Corvo, or I jump.
Corvo! Save me!
You won't.
Oh, I will. I mean, you were gonna fight. Yeah, we're gonna fight, buddy. That wasn't satisfying enough for me. Motherfucker. Oh! Fuck out of here.
What will history tell us? That the daughter of a murdered empress ascended the throne up a mountain of corpses, carried
Oh my
by an
god,
assassin named Corvo?
it's freaking chaos.
No. They'll say that little Emily Kaldwin I came to power in an age of terror and corruption, and that she did her best in a world that is not kind to little girls or empresses. But whether the stories told mention you by name or not, she will remember you were there, Corvo.
And after this, we were officially done with Dishonored's main campaign. Throughout both of my playthroughs, low chaos and high chaos, I obtained a total of 50 out of 80 achievements, meaning we need 30 more to 100% the entire game. And even though the main campaign was done, we were far from the finish line. I had 3 DLCs to get through, and so far the achievements have been pretty simple to get for the most part, but that was all about the change in the DLCs, man. The first DLCs we were taking down was The Knife of Dunwall and the Brigmore Witches. You play as the legendary assassin Dowd, the same Dowd who assassinated the Empress and kidnapped her daughter, and the same Dowd in which Corvo bested. These DLCs also happen to take place at the same time as the main campaign, so while Corvo was making his way through the city, Dowd was out here fighting his own battles at the same time. Regardless, both DLCs consisted of 3 missions and 10 achievements each. There was one problem though. If you could guess, just like the main story, we had to complete the first and second DLC twice. One in low chaos, full stealth, and no killing whatsoever, and then one in high chaos, resulting in a total of 4 playthroughs across the 2 DLCs.
Oh my god! Oh jeez, oh my god!
At this point, I'm not gonna lie, after seeing this, my brain mentally checked out, so I honestly took a break from it all for about 4 to 5 days, and when I did come back though, it was go time. Opening up with the first mission of Knife of Dunwall, we're immediately greeted with Dowd's POV when killing the Empress.
All equally corrupt.
Damn.
Why should an Empress be different? But she was.
It's crazy seeing the goat Corvo from another POV, bro. Crazy.
Dead eyes. I knew I'd pay for this one. Maybe I deserve to. A storm was coming that would shake apart everything I'd built.
No! Get away from her! Corvo!
Then we're tossed directly into the void, and let me tell you, Dowd's supernatural powers are nuts. I didn't own the DLC, all I had was the base game. Wait, his blink has the time bend ability on it while also being a blink? What? That goes to show you how goated Corvo is to kill this guy, or even get a chance at killing this guy. After being completely taken aback by Dowd's blink, we're greeted by the Outsider, who tells Dowd his time is coming to an end soon and that he'd leave him with a hint, the name Delilah. So after getting out of the void, Dowd then starts to hyperfixate on this one name, Delilah, and comes up with the Rothwild slaughterhouse. Bundry Rothwild owned a ship named the Delilah, which was a whale hunting ship, so Dowd wanted to find him and know more about it. Before we started the level though, the DLCs of Dishonored offered something called favors. Purchasing these would basically give you help throughout the level by maybe planting an extra rune somewhere on the level or leaving a chest with gear inside somewhere. I would have to purchase every one of these throughout the Knife of Dunwall DLC for an achievement. There was 5 favors in total. After purchasing the first 3 favors, I headed into the mission and was greeted by Dowd's second in command, Billy Lurk. She's going to be helping us throughout all of the missions. It's very obvious that this is a very corrupt work environment the moment we get here, as some guy's time card is taken and he's told to screw off.
You had no right to take it.
So this is the greatest assassin Dunwall has ever seen. Oh.
Try and get past me, and I'll see you swinging from a meat hook.
Go home, mister. Orders are to confiscate those cards, no exceptions.
I hope you die weeping, all of you. I hope the plague gets you.
Regardless, I sneak my way through the buildings and make it to our first favor, the safe code. It was behind some boards on a wall near the slaughterhouse. This safe would give us an extra time card. Considering we needed a time card to enter the slaughterhouse, this was perfect. Upon entering the place, Billy actually lets us know that she's found an interrogation room deep in the building that we could use to get information out of Rothwild later. But when I open the door and watch this interaction unfold, I really see how awful this place really is.
Have you been in the chair already?
Yes, but I signed right away. Mr. Rothwild didn't even have to turn it on.
I don't believe you.
No, it's true.
Is he calling you a liar?
That's what it sounds like. I'm gonna teach you to respect me.
Oh my god!
It was only supposed to scare him. Oops.
Yeah, this place is pretty awful, and to make things worse, as I'm making my way to find Rothwild, I find a whale strung up and being sawed on. And the worst part is, it was still alive. Oh my god, is that a whale? Yo!
The power system in there looks like it will put down that whale in an instant. I almost think you should. I know they're just beasts, but still.
Yeah, this is so inhumane. The thing is still alive. Oh my goodness. I continue onward though until I find Rothwild's office and hear him talking to a lady in the back, and I take care of him really quick. The lady he was talking to was Abigail. She was hired by a third party to get the workers out of here and completely destroy the slaughterhouse, and she wanted me to do it for her. The only problem is, this was a whale oil facility, and she wanted me to use all of the whale oil to blow this place sky high, since whale oil is extremely explosive. Now, obviously I couldn't do that considering this was a completely non-lethal playthrough, so I ignored that request and took Rothwild to the interrogation room. I toss his ass in the chair and give him a few zaps until he tells Dowd the information he wants to know, which gives us the achievement, Just Business.
Who was the previous owner?
Barrister Timms! All right!
He told me the story. Delilah was a woman he knew. Grew up working in Dunwall Tower. And got kicked out. Became a painter. With funny airs, like proud. She caught his eye, but it was worse than that. He couldn't think of anything else, just her. She whirled into his mind somehow. He built that ship for her and a lot more. Gave her half his fortune. Then he got scared. Came to me afraid. Man like that, afraid. He wanted to dump the ship and I needed a business partner, so we made a deal. Meant to change the name. Wish I'd done it.
I hope that was satisfying. Here's the room key. When you're ready to go.
Afterwards, I have Billy knock him out and I go toss him into a shipping container so he can get shipped off to Madagascar or some shit. And all we had to do after that was get the hell out of here without being spotted. Which was obviously simple enough, but on the way back we learned that Billy was caught and we had to help her out. Dowd had slightly different tools than Corvo did, and one of those tools was choke bombs. These would have choke dust inside of them that temporarily stunned enemies and hindered their sight, which was a perfect tool to help Billy out. After saving her, we were out of here. Alright, on to mission 2.
As a young girl, Delilah was a baker's apprentice in Dunwall Tower. Years later, a painter in Sokolov Circle. Barrister Arnold Timms paid her to paint portraits. Him, I knew. A nobleman, born rich. And now he was making a second fortune, seizing the assets of plague victims for the Lord Regent. But Barrister Timms was also fighting a private war with his own niece. Something to do with the family fortune. Lurk was probably right. We needed to speak with the niece first. Her feud with the old barrister was something we could use. I got a message to the barrister's niece, and she claimed to know things about Delilah that no one else did. But the knowledge would have a price. I wasn't surprised. I went to meet her.
Before mission 2, I bought the last 2 favors that we needed for the achievement Well Connected. Well Connected, I believe. There it is, Well Connected. Purchase all the favors in the Knife of Dunwall. Alright. And after that, it was time to pay a visit to Barrister Timsh. Reason being is because Rothwild gave us information that the boat Delilah used to be owned by Timsh, and he named it after a girl he was absolutely obsessed with. Her name obviously being Delilah. So obviously Dowd wanted more answers, but this time from Timsh's niece. The reason being is because Timsh and his niece absolutely despise each other. So I set off to find her, sneaking my way past the Wall of Light and into this alleyway. I find a Hatter gang member interrogating Talia, so I quickly choke his ass out and more Hatter goons pop up, but I stay out of their sight and knock them both out with sleep darts, and then I talk to Talia.
Look at you, the master assassin. So you want to know about Delilah? Well, my uncle is bewitched by her, so we won't tell you anything. I require only 2 things.
Everybody requires something in the city.
And bring me his last will and testament. In exchange, I'll tell you what you want to know about Delilah Copperspoon. And I'll pay you cold hard coin for your trouble. Come back to me when it's done. Let's meet at the docks when you return.
With the job given to us by Talia, we were off to find her uncle and find his will. But on the way there, I hear some guards talking of a prisoner, so I went and got some information from him in return for his freedom and getting revenge on Barrister Timsh for him. So first we had to go to his apartment and grab an eviction document so we could swap out Timsh's documents later. Not only that, we had an odorous sack that contained the stink of the rat plague and the weepers. We needed to place the sack and the air ventilation system throughout his house so it would flow all throughout the entire house. When I did finally make it into Timsh's house, it was pretty tricky to get around without getting seen, but I managed to make it up to the 3rd floor and took out a few guards before entering a room with a statue of Delilah in it. Talking to the statue would give me the achievement Stone Cold Heart.
I ought to just kill you, but I'm going to give you a warning for the sake of my sisters, who were very impressed with you once upon a time. Stay away from me. There are great changes coming, and I'll expect you not to interfere. I have influence in places you won't expect. But as for Arnold Timsh, do what you want. I won't hold a grudge. I'm done with him.
Is that who you were looking for?
There we go, Stone Cold Heart.
Well, she's a bit of a bitch.
Yeah, no
And
kidding.
that works out.
As Billy just stated earlier, she's a major bitch. Afterward, I decided it was time to blink over across to the prisoner's apartment and grab the goodies we needed, the documents and the stinky sack. I then headed back over to Timsh's house and choked out the maid next to Timsh so I could easily swap the documents without being seen, and after that, I headed down to the basement to stink this place up. And on the way out, I grabbed the will Talia wanted. Alright, swap the documents. Now all I gotta do is drop the sack in there.
Home. I'm afraid you may have to settle your dispute with them.
That's strange. Timsh doesn't name himself the beneficiary in the will. He's giving the inheritance to Delilah.
Doing this would actually force Timsh out of his house because of the horrible smell, and that's where General Turnbull would be waiting.
I could barely breathe. Oh, General Turnbull,
Yes, I was expecting you. Please come.
Ah, Timsh. It smells like a weeper den. I thought we were secure.
And we are. The neighborhood is swept 3 times a week.
Barrister Timsh!
Please, call me Arnold. We're friends. Here, this will clear things up for you. The Regents arranged it. By the way, I don't think I ever got your first name.
What is this? Is this a joke?
I am not sure what you find funny about it.
Barrister Timsh, this is a letter from the Lord Regent dated a month ago, stating that your building is to be seized by the state immediately due to massive infection outbreak, and that your personal assets are forfeit if you do not comply immediately. A month ago? Are you showing me this to try to convince me that you're above the law?
What? Let me see that. This is impossible.
Barrister, I am afraid I am going to have to take you into custody. And if I or any of my men contract the plague because of this visit, I'll see that your head rolls.
No. This isn't the right document. This...
Get him out of here before he starts bleeding from the eyes. And secure this court. It's under quarantine.
Yes, sir.
You fainted. Now what?
After that old bastard was taken care of, we headed all the way back to the start of the level to meet with Talia and collect our reward, achievement, and information on Delilah.
But you were promised information. Well, my uncle came under Delilah's spell. He was obsessed with her. Everyone knew she'd been a servant at the tower before she studied under Sokolov. She was a painter, an artist. Beneath my family's class, for certain. We saw her as if she was very far away, standing in the old Brigmore Manor, painting at an easel, painting a name. It was your name, Dowd. That's all I know. I hope you find what you're looking for.
Now we were on to the final mission of the Knife of Dunwall DLC. I stocked up on a ton of sleep darts and instantly headed out. For this mission, we actually returned to Dowd's assassin hideout, the same hideout in which Corvo carved through single-handedly to get to Dowd during the main story. But when Dowd gets back, he learns that the Overseers have raided his base and taken a ton of the assassins hostage, and the only thing Dowd wants to know is...
I want to know how the bastards found us in the first place.
So the plan here is to work my way through the assassin hideout completely silently, save the hostage assassins, and then take care of the Overseer Hume, who also happens to be bald. Dude, you know, what is with all the bald evil people in this game? Are bald people just bad fucking people? Anyways, I make my way through the hideout and make it to the first hostage assassin. I sleep dart one of the guards and use a choke bomb on the other two, and take them out as well, and then free the assassin.
I'll survive. I'll await your signal.
After that, I worked my way up to the second story, choked out a guard, and now it was time to deal with Hume. I'm not gonna lie to you, this took me so many attempts to get done. This was a really hard room to figure out completely undetected, but when I did, I felt like Batman, I won't lie.
You are right.
Thank you.
Remind the men that their overseer is Danny. That Dowd is an aging mercenary who was deluded to follow his feet.
Yes, sir. I just hate the stink of this place. But you are right, of course.
Now that bald evil man 476 was dealt with, it was time to head out and save the rest of our assassins.
You're only... My hands are bound.
Before saving the last assassin, I headed up into a building and grabbed the written plans for the Overseer assault on the hideout. This pretty much told us that they didn't fully follow the original plan, and that means someone tipped them off. We were about to learn who that someone is very shortly. I then went and saved the last assassin.
This is a waste. These ones never talk.
Cut the rope. My hands are tied. I'll survive.
And then after that, I met up with the whole gang and got thrown a major curveball.
How did the cursed overseers find us?
It's my fault. I told Delilah where we were hidden. She wanted me to turn on you.
You did this.
But I can't go through with it.
Stupid child. All you had to do was cut his throat.
He deserves better. I was an idiot to listen to you.
So that's your choice then, Dowd. Her betrayal would have been the sweetest. But either way, the Brigmore Witches will be
Brigmore Witches, that's the next DLC.
You should have forgotten
Wow.
my name the day you heard it.
I think it was always understood between us that I'd see my moment and take your place. I moved too early.
Damn, Billy.
Weak, like I thought. I'm only sorry I didn't pick a better ally. Delilah made contact with the Overseers. I thought, between the three of us, we'd have you dead to rights.
We can blame the Zealots for that. Overseer Hume was too quick to move.
Damn,
My
Billy.
life is yours now. Kill me, or let me live. If it even matters to you.
Touching and pathetic.
I'm not gonna
If
kill
I
you.
see either of you again, I'll tear out your stone-cold hearts and walk in your skin.
We're gonna spare her.
I forgive you. Get out of here. Leave the city. Leave my sight, Billy. I give you your life.
Damn, that's crazy. Cleaner hands.
When
Complete the
Billy
life of Dunwall
Lurk
without
was
killing
8,
anyone.
she wanted to be the captain of a ship. From the moment she met you, all she wanted was to be a killer. She watched you, learned from you, and then she saw you losing your grip and decided to take your place. And now, she's limping to the outskirts of the city. She'll pay a smuggler to get past quarantine. She'll watch herself for signs of plague for a while. Gradually, the fear and grief that seep into your bones in Dunwall will dissipate, and she'll find a new name and a new use for her skills. Even if Dunwall burns to the ground, one corner of the Empire will still know
Damn, there's
your
Corvo.
story. Dowd, killer of an empress. Dowd, who spared his betrayer's life.
There it is. For the High Chaos playthrough, I'm going to pace it just like I did for the main story, but it will be much, much shorter as there are far less achievements to obtain. There's a total of 3 achievements to get on the High Chaos playthrough of this DLC, so this will be very quick. You already know the drill. We head into the mission, Billy briefs us, and then we were off to stab people. That was a badass assassination. Oh my goodness. There's our goat. Corvo, he's wanted. 30 grand is crazy. After admiring Corvo's beautiful face, and I'm not kidding, that is one handsome man, I head off further towards the slaughterhouse. Only this time, I didn't purchase any favors and wanted to get the time card a different way. There were actually imprisoned factory workers in front of the slaughterhouse, and in return for their freedom, they'd actually give me one of their time cards to get into the slaughterhouse. So, I headed over to these guard buildings and nabbed the gate key and some arc mines and headed back. But before I freed them, I actually stuck one of my arc mines on a little tiny rat. This was because I needed to kill a guard using an arc mine attached to a rat for rats and ashes. So I quickly made my way over to the guards, got their attention, and headed back over to my little guard rat. Come on, guard rat. After that was dealt with, I freed the prisoners, got the time card, took care of the wall of light for them, and then headed into the slaughterhouse. Only this time, instead of standing by and watching this guy get sawed in two, this is high chaos, bitch. We kill anyone we feel like over here.
Wait, Mr. Rothwell didn't even have to turn
to his office.
After putting Rothwell to sleep and taking him to the interrogation chair, I felt like killing him this time because, again, this is high chaos. With that meathead out of the way and with the info obtained, we were out of here. But before we left, I know I'm not one to talk about ethics. I've done some pretty unethical things on this 100% journey. But I needed to put this whale out of its misery. It just didn't sit right with me.
They're sawing on it while it's alive. That is terrible. Ugh.
You hear me? Assassin!
This whale out of its misery.
Well, now that that was done and I felt a little bit better about myself, we headed over and saved Billy real quick. And then we got the hell out of here.
Please. Your spirit is back.
Let's go.
Hey, look, I'm just gonna front with you. There was literally no obtainable achievements for mission 2 at all, so we're just gonna head right into mission 3. Mission 3 on High Chaos was a lot of the same. The only difference is I cleaned house until I got to Overseer Hume like I was fucking John Wick.
There ain't any fight left in him.
Cider, where are you?
Thank you.
Things are bad.
Hold on. Someone's down.
Yes, sir.
Sign from your entrails.
Damn, that was so sick. Dude, why do they gotta make everything cooler on frickin' High Chaos? But everything is so much like more depressing, bro. Like, dang, that was so cool.
After Hume and his goons were dealt with, I headed out to save this assassin again. And after that was done, I actually needed to head to the top of this Emperor statue because for the achievement Message from the Empress, we needed to do a drop assassination on an enemy from atop the Emperor statue.
Here he is. Here we go. That was one of the coolest achievements I have done in this game. Fuck off me, boy.
This actually ended up being my favorite achievement to do throughout the entire game. All that was left for me to do now was free the rest of the assassins.
I'll survive. I'll await your signal.
This is a waste. These ones never talk.
After doing so, I decided to kill all of the captives this time because high chaos. And then this last scene with Billy played out extremely different this time.
Kill the remaining overseers.
Cut them down.
Master Dowd.
Yeah.
Give me a report.
The Overseer leader is dead. We gave his body to the river crusts. After you freed our men, they routed the remaining Overseers. We control the Commerce Building again. They were planning a larger assault, but this group of Overseers attacked early, without the others from the Abbey.
Where's Lurk?
I'm here. I was held up. The Overseers had us trapped. They've... Oh. You.
Yes. Me. Everything is falling into place. Though I'd hoped the Overseers would be capable of finishing you in one try. Overseer Hume was just a little too ambitious. Fortunately, I still have one card left to play. Lurk?
Sorry, Dowd. But you knew this was coming. Even if you didn't think it was so soon.
Wow. She still betrays you on High
You've been
Chaos.
slipping. Ever since the Empress died. It's my time now.
Your little empire's fallen to bits. Your men are dead in the streets, and our dark-eyed friend has lost interest in helping you.
Quiet, Delilah. You're right. But I'm going to show respect. Dowd. Blades out.
Well, this obviously isn't the canonical way to do it because Billy... Oh! Oh my god! Where'd she go? Dude, she's so fast.
I knew it would come to this, Dowd. It's our nature.
Damn. You get a whole ass boss fight at the end if you do High Chaos.
You once told me Billy Lurk was your finest pupil. Fast and strong with a sharp mind. It's no accident she was the only woman you ever trained. And she proved even more ruthless and deceptive than you thought. But she was no match for you. This is why, in a city of horrors, parents will scare their children with a legend of Dowd, the knife of Dunwall, who never chose sides, who preyed on the city's lords, who never swore fealty, who brought down overseers, once even an empress. I wonder what the final chapter will be. What happens to scary monsters?
Yeah, Corvo lurking behind him. Yo, Corvo is the... That was a really good DLC. Like, really, really good. There it is. No regrets. And now we are officially done with the Knife of Dunwall.
Finishing the DLC on High Chaos would also get me the achievement No Regrets, bringing our total to 60 out of 80 achievements. Next on the list is the Brigmore Witches. The Brigmore Witches is pretty much the direct continuation of the Knife of Dunwall DLC. After being confronted by Delilah at the end of the last DLC, Dowd continues looking for Delilah until his inevitable face-off with her. This is the final story-based DLC for Dishonored and the second out of the 3 total DLCs. And as I stated before, there is a total of 3 missions and 10 achievements throughout this one as well. The Brigmore Witches starts off with Dowd being confronted by Corvo at the moment of the assassin hideout raid that happens during the main story.
Damn.
Come to collect on our debt? Did you ever think you deserved to lose your empress? That a better man took her life, while you gaped like a fool? Come on, Corvo. Prove me wrong.
We have to fight him?
Bro, seeing Corvo from someone else's point of view is actually super terrifying. The mask is actual nightmare fuel, and combined with his total silence throughout the game, it makes it even worse. Oh! Oh my god! Dowd is beaten and supposedly killed in the fight, only to wake up and realize that it was all a bad dream. I bet this guy was never volunteering to wake him up again. We then get the achievement, Parting Shot. There it is, Parting Shot. Deliver or attempt the killing blow on Corvo. I know that was a dream, but damn, Corvo looks so scary, bro. Like, no, like, okay, I'm glazing, but like, actually, he looks so scary, bro. Anyways, the first thing I start doing is looting. Anything worth coins specifically, because this DLC has one of the worst achievements in the entire game. Enough coin to disappear. To get this achievement, I had to gather a total of 10,000 coins during a low chaos playthrough. And since you could transfer your progress from the Knife of Dunwall playthrough, I had a head start of 4,000 coins. With that being said, this achievement doesn't actually sound too bad, right? You're wrong. You're fucking dead wrong. This achievement wouldn't be bad if most of the time you weren't finding items that were worth 5 to 10 coins. This achievement was such an unbelievable slog that throughout the 3 levels, I had to get up and take a literal break. Bro, the achievement wouldn't even have been possible if it wasn't for Scare Rock's coin location guide. This guy is an absolute legend, and I don't even want to know how much time it took to find every single coin and coin item on each level. I'm obviously going to edit out me picking up every single piece of coin like a goddamn penny collector, and you guys can just get to see me getting the achievement and then me thanking God and the Lord above that I was done with it. But I just want you to know that I absolutely suffered, and this is all your fault. Regardless, we were off to break a girl by the name of Lizzie Stride out of Cold Ridge Prison because she had a boat we needed to use to get to the Brigmore Manor. That's where we could deal with Delilah once and for all. I make my way up to the prison by climbing these conveniently placed rocks and a broken staircase. Once I'm inside, I make my way carefully through the very familiar prison and choke out a guard before making my way through the courtyard. Once I'm past the courtyard, I make my way over to the interrogation room and take care of one of the guards inside. In here we find what looks to be a burn victim, but we learn it's actually a Brigmore witch that took herself out and everyone in there with her. What the hell? Anyways, the main reason we came in here was for the money. It was for the goddamn money. After that, I worked my way up to the cell door controls and opened up Lizzie's cell, and then I snuck my way over to her.
People he doesn't like. You're crazy. I'm telling you, it's him. No, I've seen him.
Lizzie's tried. She's in rough shape.
The hell did they do to you, Lizzie?
Wake up, Lizzie.
I'm not telling you shit. Wait, who?
Down.
Is that right? Whoever sent you, I'll pay double.
I've come to break you out. You can owe me the favor.
What kind of favor?
Doesn't matter. You'll be dead in another day here.
What kind?
It's just a boat trip. Upriver. Past the blockades.
Big ass feet, god damn.
After she inconveniently passes out, I obviously had to carry her ass out of here, and I did just that. But not before making sure to grab almost every single loose coin in this place.
Hello, I like money.
Beating this mission gives me the achievement Breakout.
Let's go.
Ooh, there it is, Breakout. On to mission 2, we actually learned that Lizzie was the leader of a gang called the Debt Eels, until a guy by the name of Edgar Wakefield betrayed her and took her boat. This mission was about dealing with him and putting her back on top so we could use her boat. Upon loading into the level, there's a literal gang war happening right in front of us, and since this was a complete Ghost playthrough, I had to make my way past all of them. By the way, the Dead Eels ended up winning, if you care. After moving through the streets, I find the entrance to the Dead Eels hideout, so obviously I had to get through it without being seen, but not before grabbing some coins first. Dude, I'm not kidding. This mission took an extra hour just from me grabbing loose change and random items. Anyway, I make it to the hideout and see Lizzie's boat. It's absolutely swarming with enemies, but that would change once we took out Edgar and Lizzie took control over the gang again. So of course, I mean, the obvious answer is without wasting any time, I went to grab some more random coins. Okay, I'm done. That was actually the last time I'm mentioning it. This achievement just gave me some trauma. I'm sorry. I work my way onto the boat and down below deck where I find Edgar just chilling. I almost get seen, but because Dowd's blink is so goddamn OP, I managed to choke his big ass out silently.
Time to signal Lizzie.
All we had to do now was sneak back up top and sound the ship horn to signal Lizzie. Oh, and grab a coin. Seriously, fuck this achievement. After she arrives and takes role as the leader again, she tells me she can't get the boat working without a specific part, and the people that stole that specific part was the Hatter gang, so I had to go pay them a visit. After I'm in their territory, I choke out the watchguard and head inside, sneaking my way through up to see the boss. He basically tells us that he's down to strike a deal. They needed the engine coil that they took because someone shut off the flow that turns their water wheel, so we had to go down, fix the water wheel problem, and then we could get the ship part. I didn't really have much of a choice, so I headed down into the sewers. I snuck my way around until I came across this distressed lady. She said she needed help, so who am I to decline like the gentleman I am? Oh, you motherfucker. Alright, that's more like it. I continue my way through the sewers until I reach the room that has the water wheels in it. Unfortunately, it also has some witches and weepers in here. Regardless, I take care of the weepers, then the witches, and place down the lever crank and start cranking. Unfortunately, something was stopping the wheels from turning, so I head down and take care of the problem, and that finally gets the wheels turning. After that, I headed back up top to the big boss and cashed in on our deal, grabbing the engine coil and heading back to the boat. I placed the engine coil in, and we're off to the Brigmore Manor to finally deal with Delilah. Beating this mission gives us... Wait, does that say ghost isn't checked? Oh my god. Oh my god, I finally completed it.
The Brigmores were an ancient family, bankrupted a generation ago. Since then, the manor has housed 2 street gangs, a smuggling ring, innumerable rats, and the Brigmore Witches. I'd always left them alone, but now a painter named Delilah had taken up witchcraft and formed a coven. She was trying something. A ritual. But what kind? The outsider knows. I cannot abide a mystery.
Upon entering this mission, wow, this place is pretty goddamn. We have a total of 4 achievements to obtain on this level, 3 of which come from finishing the DLC, and the other one.
I fear no man, but that thing, it scares me.
I had pretty much one thing to do, objective-wise, on this mission: find Delilah, stop her from doing whatever ritual she's doing, and get rid of her. So I started making my way to the estate. Can I just say, I was so desperate to finish this godforsaken achievement. I was killing river crusts for a measly 25 coins. Anyways, I work my way around the outside of the mansion and find a lever. This lever actually opened up a crypt in the graveyard, and this crypt not only led directly into the mansion, but it also had a jewelry box worth 150 coins. I was literally 20 coins away from finishing this goddamn thing. And when I found that 25 coin pouch a few moments later, I damn near shed a tear. Oh my god, I think that's it. Please. Please tell me that's it. Okay. Oh my, we're done. I never want to see another coin again in my goddamn life. I never want to see another one. Oh my god, bro. Jesus Christ. Now, nothing was holding me back from Delilah and finishing this damn DLC. I sneak my way through the manor, avoiding the patrolling witches along the way until I finally find her studio. Dude, she was setting this up for Dishonored 2 for forever, because if you don't know, in Dishonored 2, she comes to like claim the throne from Emily years later, and then all I had to do was take the big purple lantern to the gallery, but upon arriving there was 2 witches I quickly take care of.
Alright, here we go. The hell is this? We're gonna go into the painting. What the?
After entering the void, it was finally time to finish this wild goose chase with Delilah. All I had to do was wait for her to start the ritual, and then make my way over to this painting in the back of this area. After I grabbed the painting, I had to make my way back to her painting, and while her back was turned, replace the painting of Emily with the painting I just picked up moments earlier. From what I could deduct from this ritual, she was trying to extract Emily's mind and possess her body, making it so that she was ruling the entire empire in Emily's place. Instead, she got pulled into wherever the hell I hope that coin achievement ends up.
It is complete. I am... What's happening? This is all wrong! What am I becoming? Outsider's blood? Is this some trick? No!
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Silence is golden in cleanest hands.
No one will ever know exactly what it took to save Emily Kaldwin from a living death as Delilah's puppet. No one except the outsider, who watches everything and thinks his own dark thoughts and speaks to few in any generation. I've learned that our choices always matter. To someone. Somewhere. And sooner or later, in ways we can't always fathom, the consequences come back to us. I came from Serkonos to Dunwall as a boy. Made my living as a killer. One of the few who've heard the outsider's voice. I murdered an empress, but saved her daughter, who will one day rule the empire. Those were my choices. I'm ready for what comes.
Please give me the coin.
I have one more surprise for you. I ask for my life.
Damn, it's like...
When I killed your
Oh, looks so scary.
Something broke inside me. Now I want nothing but to leave this city and fade from the memory of those who reside here. I've had enough killing. So my life is in your hands. Make your choice.
You make an eloquent plea for a man with innocent blood on his hands. It's a shame Corvo doesn't know the real story, isn't it? How in these last days you passed through Coldridge Prison like a shadow, dared the tangles of Dunwall's underworld, and walked out unscathed, outwitted one of the greatest witches in a generation, all with consummate care and skill. How you saved Emily Kaldwin, daughter of the Empress, first of her name, and no one will ever know. But how does it
I think Dowd cares anymore.
The hired killer, the murderer, the savior of the Empire. It's up to Corvo now.
He has so much aura, bro. Oh, he has so much aura. I love Corvo.
And after Corvo spares Dowd's life, which is indeed the canon ending by the way, we were done with the Brigmore Witches. Beating the Brigmore Witches in overall low chaos would give me changed ways. Collecting and surviving with 10,000 coins on a low chaos playthrough would also give me enough coin to disappear. Beating the DLC while remaining completely undetected also gets me Silence is Golden. And finally, finishing the DLC without killing anyone gives me cleanest hands. Just as with the previous sections in this video, this would be no different, just much shorter, as we'd only be focusing on the achievements, and again, there were only 3 of them to obtain on High Chaos. To get the first one, we could do it on any level, but I just chose to do it on the first mission. We had to use the pull power and lift the enemy and then use them as a meat shield. This would get me the achievement Wall of Flesh.
Alright, Wall of Flesh is done.
And as for the next achievement, all I had to do was purchase all the favors throughout the Brigmore Witches, getting the Deal Maker.
Next achievement. Oop. Here it is, Deal Maker. Purchase at least 8 favors.
I scouted, sir.
Brigmore
They've locked
Witches.
the front.
And then of course, for beating the entire DLC in High Chaos, I would get All Come to Ruin. But this would also give us a very different ending as well.
Oh, but I can. Die, bitch. We're done with the Dishonored campaign. Completely. All Dishonored campaign and DLC are done with you. Suck on that. Oh.
No one will ever know exactly what it took to save Emily Kaldwin from a living death as Delilah's puppet. No one except the outsider, who watches everything and thinks his own dark thoughts and speaks to few in any generation. I've learned that our choices always matter. To someone. Somewhere. And sooner or later, in ways we can't always fathom, the consequences come back to us. I came from Serkonos to Dunwall as a boy. Made my living as a killer. One of the few who've heard the outsider's voice. I murdered an empress, but saved her daughter, who will one day rule the Empire. Those were my choices. I'm ready for what comes. For you. I asked for my life. When I killed your empress and took her daughter, something broke inside me. Now I want nothing but to leave this city and fade from the memory of those who reside here. I've had enough killing. So my life is in your hands. Make your choice.
You make an eloquent plea for a man with innocent blood on his hands. It's a shame Corvo doesn't know the real story, isn't it? How Dowd, the legendary assassin, spent his last days doing whatever it took to save Emily Kaldwin, defied the keepers of Coldridge Prison, faced down gang leaders and the terrors of Brigmore Manor. And with the end coming, you cut a savage swath through Dunwall, blood and terror for the fate of the Empire. A story never to be told. And you leave the ending up to Corvo. That's courage. You make your own choice and accept the price.
Man, that was so sick. I think he's gonna... Oh, yep. He no hesitation killed him. So on low chaos, he spares his life, and on high chaos, he kills him. And the last thing he's gonna see is the statue of the Empress. Holy shit. All come to ruin.
There's achievement number 70. Getting these last 3 achievements for the Brigmore Witches DLC would leave us at a total of 70 out of 80 achievements. We were finally in the final stretch of this 100% grind. But these final 10 achievements were literally some of the worst of the worst. The Dunwall City Trials was the 3rd and final DLC for Dishonored. And frankly, it should have never existed in the first place. Essentially, all this is a series of challenges ranging from stealth challenges and accuracy challenges all the way to combat challenges. On paper, it doesn't sound bad, especially with a game like Dishonored. The combat is amazing, the stealth is some of the best of all time, but the challenges themselves and the achievements tied to them are extremely questionable. Some are better and more fun than others, and some are just downright terrible. The challenges also use a 3-star system, so basically if you meet a certain threshold in terms of points, you'd get 1 to 3 stars based on your performance. And to acquire the achievement Void Star, I'd have to get a 3-star rating on all of the normal and expert challenges in Dunwall City Trials. The first challenge was relatively simple and straightforward. We had to find the right person throughout the area and assassinate them. If I happened to assassinate the wrong person, however, I would fail the challenge. To help identify your target, there would be clues scattered around the map. But to get the achievement for this challenge, Natural Talent, I'd need to find and kill the mystery target without using any of my supernatural powers. Now listen to me, I gave this one an actual legitimate shot, but I did one singular run, and then I kid you not, the literal next run, I just said screw it and stabbed the first guy I saw, and he happened to be my target, getting me the achievement. Let's go, I got lucky. Oh my god, thank god, thank god. Never mind. You know, honestly, I deserve some luck like that after enduring the goddamn coin achievement from Brigmore Witches. The achievement out of my way, it meant I could use my supernatural powers to get the 3-star on this challenge. I would need to pick up about 2 to 3 clues and then take my best guess as to who the target was with the given information. Since this 3-star also grades you on your completion speed, I had to be quick. Where's blue close? You. Yes. That should be plenty. That should be plenty. I think you need 30k and I got 57k. There it is. 3 stars. Nice. Alright. On to challenge 2. The second trial was burglar. Oh my god, don't you tell me I have to find more coins and items. No. There was no achievement for this trial, so all I had to do was get a 3-star grade on this one. Unfortunately, this was one of the most annoying ones out of them all. Basically, this challenge involved you sneaking into a mansion and stealing up to 3,500 coins. The main thing was finding the eggs first, as they were point multipliers and they'd make whatever you pick up worth much more. So obviously I find those first. I think the worst part about this achievement is not that you couldn't be spotted, but it's that you couldn't knock out any enemies or you'd gain less points, meaning you wouldn't get the 3-star rating. And you know, let me tell you, this challenge honestly broke me. I think it was the poor timing of me going straight into this shortly after completing the coin achievement from the DLC. Oh my god! I honestly had to take a break, but I hopped on the next day and locked in. I needed to get 30,000 points in total to get a 3-star rating. On this, you lose points. Yeah. Hoping there's so much loot in here, please. Yeah, I think this is it. Oh, we're getting the hell out of here. No, we're done with that. As I said before, please do not. If I die or something. Oh my god, thank you. Freaking Lord above, dude. Now that trial 2 was out of the way, I never wanted to see another coin again, like actually this time. We were now on to the third trial, Back Alley Brawl. This one was a combat challenge, which I loved the combat in this game, so obviously that means I'd love this, right? Right? Absolutely the f not. The achievement for this one is one of the most rage-inducing things I have ever experienced. For the achievement by my hand alone, I needed to get all the way to wave 13 while also being the one that killed every single enemy that spawns. You see, that doesn't actually sound that bad when I tell it to you, until you realize that this challenge spawns all different kinds of factions from throughout the game, so they actually end up fighting each other as well. Basically, let's say if they spawn an assassin on a rooftop and then a Dunwall guard, one stray arrow on round 12 out of 13 could kill the guard before I get there, and I'd have to restart the whole damn thing. This whole challenge involved so much luck, and on top of also having to be perfect at the same time. I don't know who the hell the son of Satan possessed that day in Arcane Studios when they thought this achievement up. But what did I do to deserve this? Huh, Arcane? I love Dishonored. I love... I think I'm supposed to have 42 kills and I'll have 41. Oh. I think that's time bend. I need that. No! I was on the cusp of giving up for the day and just coming back to it another time, but one of my runs, I just locked in. My God. Oh my God, bro. That was one of the worst achievements I've ever had to obtain in my entire life. This trial took me just over 5 hours. 5 hours of my life that I will never get back. Surely this next one would be at least a little more Oh, what the fuck? I had to beat this entire challenge with 100% accuracy while also getting only headshots. Okay, let's go.
I don't care. I don't care. I'll take that 100% of the time, bro. Fuck that one too. Oh my god. Yeah, that's right. I did a glitch skip I saw on YouTube, and I don't care. This DLC sucks. Challenge number 5 was finally a step back and just a super simple sit back, relax, and shoot some whale oil tanks until we get 30,000 points. Oh yeah, while I was doing this trial, I happened to grab one of Emily's dolls. I forgot to mention earlier, but there's a collectible achievement called Mrs. Pilson's Remorse, and you had to collect 1 Emily doll per trial map. All you really got to know is that I have been collecting them. Trial number 6 was actually a very enjoyable one. Basically, whenever you broke the glass, time would stop and you'd have a limited amount of time to kill a certain number of targets. This trial also came with bonus rounds, and different bonus rounds required different things. Like, for example, this bonus round needed me to kill all targets without any weapons, so they give you a brick and a whale oil tank. This took me about 30 minutes or so to do, and like I said previously, this one was overall enjoyable to get the 3-star on.
I heard you got eaten alive at cards. You always...
And we got the 3, there's 3-star, dude. Thank God. Let me just go grab this doll.
Trial number 7 was actually another chill one. Essentially, there would be a certain number of targets around the map. They wouldn't move or attack you at all, but you had to figure out a way to kill all the targets within a 3-second window. I actually genuinely love this one because you had to be creative with the environment. This one was an absolute great 3-star.
What the...
For challenge number 8, I'm not gonna lie, I was so locked in on getting this achievement, I actually forgot to hit the record button, and I ended up getting it off camera. Essentially what you had to do was blink around this obstacle course to these beams of light that would randomly spawn. For the achievement Daredevil, I essentially had to do a series of difficult jumps all in one run, which honestly sounds pretty easy until you realize they don't hold your hand at all, and I had to look these up and practice these for about an hour until I finally got this achievement.
Oh my god, I just accidentally got the achievement Daredevil while practicing the tricky jumps off camera, like off recording. Literally, look, that is unreal. I literally just unlocked this, man, like a minute ago. Bro, I'm sorry. I was practicing. I didn't realize I was actually making that much progress. But hey, I'm glad that's done.
Number 9 was actually pretty damn fun. You had to race against a train to the end of the map, and the faster you make it there, the higher your score. I was actually pretty exhausted at this point, and I had been grinding out these last few achievements and the 3-star ratings non-stop for like days at this point. So shout out to I'm Awesome, by the way, on YouTube. You are awesome, you ain't kidding. She basically showed a super easy pathway to get this achievement, and the end result actually looks pretty cool. There we go. Thank God. And for the final trial, number 10, this one was actually my favorite out of all of them because this one was all about drop assassinations. Just as with the previous challenge, I just decided to look up the most optimal routing for this one, and I came back with this after a few minutes of practice. It is. There it is, Mrs. Pilson's Remorse. Got all 10 Emily dolls. The expert version of trial number 1 was actually pretty much the same. I just used the same strategy as last time. Find 2 to 3 clues as quickly as possible and then just take a guess based on the information I was given. This took me a few tries, but like I said, this one was actually super easy. That was it. There we go. Nice. For expert trial number 2, this one is the absolute worst, I'm not gonna lie. Basically, the entire goddamn thing is different. They move the items, you need keys for specific doors and chests, and you don't have your powers anymore. But first, before I tackle the 3-star, for the expert version, they actually place 16 collectibles around the map that I have to find and collect. Luckily, to make it easier overall, considering I didn't need a 3-star right this second and I just needed to find the collectibles, I just sleep darted any guard who came my way. This one turned out to actually be pretty easy, and doing so would give me rare collector, but I wanted to wait and deal with the 3-star for this trial a little later. And if I followed... Oh, thank God, if I followed this video right, this is the last collectible. Oh my God. And we were back to trial number 3, Expert Edition. Yeah, to be completely honest, when you don't have to do that awful achievement, this trial is actually pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie, I'd rather put my in feeding than ever do that achievement again. Expert trial number 8 was literally basically the same thing, but with assassins running around. You just blink around and get 30,000 points. And expert number 9 was actually a bit different because assassins would actually spawn and the layout of the map was very slightly different. So shout out to Trophy Boy on YouTube. Me following and practicing his path made this take like 5 minutes. As for expert trial number 10, I'm not kidding, I literally just did the exact same thing I did for the normal version of this trial and I got 3 stars, so. And now the only thing standing between me and finally finishing this 100% journey was expert number 2. This took me about 2 hours or so to do, and trust me, I almost gave up multiple times. This is it. This is the end. The final challenge, the final expert 3-star I need. I just gotta get out of here without being seen. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I think it's done. I think I'm done. Dishonored 100%. Dishonored 100% is done. Void star. Oh my god, oh my god. That's 80 out of 80, I think. There it is, bro. Oh my god. 100% completion right here. Oh my god. And with that, my friends, I was officially done with the 100% for Dishonored. Even though I'm still new to this whole achievement hunting thing, I had so much fun, and I mean so much fun revisiting this wonderful game from my childhood. And you know, on top of all of that, I gotta say, this game still holds up so well to this day. I mean, you wouldn't think this game is from 2012 if you played it for the first time. Overall, I gotta say, 100%ing this game was so fun, and it wasn't too difficult, honestly, apart from, you know, some select few achievements. With that being said, I'd really appreciate it if you guys subbed to the channel and gave the video a like if you enjoyed it. I did this whole video all by my lonesome, you know, the editing, the voicing, the gameplay, etc. And you know, it was extremely time consuming, so I'd really appreciate any support y'all can give. And you know, honestly, if there's just one single thing that you can take away from this video, if you haven't yet, or maybe if you just haven't in a while, go play some Dishonored.